answer both points. The first point is on resale value. Fundamentally, a EV has lesser number of moving parts than a conventional vehicle. So actually the maintenance required on an EV is much less. Also, the life of an EV is going to be far greater. The third thing which is going to happen is the battery prices are expected to go down. So as the universe of EVs goes up, the battery prices will come down. So which is the primary cost? And battery has to be actually equated to fuel. Now, the other game changer which is going to happen in India over the next 10 years is the fact that solar is coming in a very big way. Now, think of a scenario 10 years from now, and this is not too much far into the future. The government is now talking about 100 million households which have solar at the home level. Now, you're talking almost kind of the holy grail because you have solar for free or near close to zero cost, and then you have EVs, whether they're used for personal or three-wheelers or two-wheelers or for commercial transport. So you're talking about a complete change in the way our ecosystem will work. And secondly, related to this also is, I think we need to segregate the discussion in personal vehicles and vehicles which are used for profit. Fundamentally, EVs today are profitable if you use them more. If the car is going to be in the garage 95% of the time, then probably the cost factor equation doesn't work in EV's favor. But if you take a bus, you take an electric three-wheeler, you take a two-wheeler which is used for, let's say, last mile deliveries, the equation is extremely, extremely good. So this is where the market will determine where the shift happens. And you can see this by the numbers. Last month, more than 50% of three-wheelers sold in India were electric, where they were nowhere in sight 3 years ago. So this kind of change is happening. The same will happen in buses. And actually, the biggest contributor, or rather the biggest differences that can happen is the advent of buses. India needs 8 lakh buses, which is what the government is talking about. Imagine if we are able to do that, our penetration is low. Now, all of us suffer in cities. We are spending gridlock time. It's time that we focus on buses. It's time that we get hundreds and thousands of electric buses. This is not an expensive option, and the unit economics are cheap. It's less than 2 rupees a kilometer per passenger. You can't get a cheaper mode of transport. And if this happens in a big way, I think we can cut the gridlock. This is not spoken of enough, but I think public transport deserves a much bigger chance having electric vehicles.
Absolutely. Dr. Mehta, like you rightly pointed out, this is not a one-size-fits-all kind of scenario.